Quiet Place Part 2 is the follow-up to one of my favorite movies of all time, A Quiet Place. It is safe to say that I was highly anticipating this newest film from John Krasinski. This film stars Emily Blunt, Millicent Simmons, Noah Jupe, Cillian Murphy, and John Krasinski. And it follows the events at home. We see the Abbott family now facing the terrors of the outside world, forced to venture into the unknown. They finally realize the creatures that hunt by sound are not the only threats lurking beyond this sand path. Now let's talk about A Quiet Place real quick. That is one of the best horror movies that I've ever seen. I love John Krasinski. Anything that he does, I am all in. Emily Blunt, superb actress. And that movie was not on my radar. I checked it out right after Christmas of 2018 and loved it. My favorite movie of 2018, and the more I thought about it, the higher it's gone up in my favorite movies of all time. A Quiet Place is unlike any horror movie that I've personally ever seen, and it's, like I said, one of my favorite movies of all time. So when the sequel was announced, I was very excited. And then 2020 happened. It got delayed right before it was supposed to come out. Awful news. We had to wait over a year. Now it's finally out, and this is a damn good sequel. I don't think it necessarily tops the original, but this is such a good sequel. John Krasinski once again knocks it out of the park in the director's chair. He's in the film a little bit as an actor. The opening is where he's primarily in, and the opening, real quick, is one of probably the best opening I've seen so far in 2021. I loved it. Riveting from start to finish. I absolutely love that opening scene, and right from there, the movie just takes off. But going back to John Krasinski, such a good director. Like I said, I will follow him and whatever he does, I will see and I will support. And when he puts out great stuff like this, it helps even more. This is such a good sequel. It's probably one of the best sequels that I've ever seen. The acting all around is excellent. Emily Blunt, again, so good. Cillian Murphy was also excellent as well. But the true stars was Millicent Simmons and Noah Jupe. These guys are such talented young actors. And it's crazy what they can do, especially Millicent Simmons, who's deaf. And the fact that they incorporated that into the movie is just bravo, John Krasinski. But she's so good. She has a bright future ahead, and so does Noah Jupe. These guys are one of the best young talents right now in Hollywood, and anything that these guys do as well, I'm all in. After the awesome opening, I was completely sucked in, and unfortunately the movie did lose me a little bit. I think that because the first movie was so small scale, and John Krasinski, this is all because of him, but the first movie was so intense and just so riveting. But then you have this movie, it's larger scale, obviously. The Abbott family adventures more into the world. They experience more and more things. And, you don't want them to just rehash this first movie again. So it's good that they ventured into the world and they explored more and more. I kind of was a bit skeptical on how they handled it, though. The movie lost me a little bit, like I said. But then after things start to kick up a little bit more and more, the second act is awesome, and that third act is awesome. Such great scenes. There's an awesome scene with Emily Blunt trying to hide from one of the monsters. Noah Jupe running out of air. All the scenes are so intense, and it's on the big screen. It looks awesome. It looks so good. This is a movie made for theaters, and I highly suggest that if you have to see this movie in theaters. If you're not comfortable with that right now, I understand, but wait until you do feel comfortable enough to see this movie on the big screen. I regret not seeing the first movie on the big screen. I really hope that I get to do that one day, but this second movie on the big screen looks incredible. The sound design and sound editing is phenomenal. John Krasinski, how he crafted this world, I just have to give him the biggest bravo. He created such a riveting horror thriller experience that kept me on the edge of my seat all throughout that almost 2-hour runtime. This film is longer than the first one, and I did actually enjoy that. The movie didn't really lose me. It just kind of made me a bit confused about where it was going after that big opening. That's my biggest fault with the movie. I couldn't really jump on board with it right away. After that first awesome opening, again, it kind of lost me a little bit. But this is one of the best directed movies of the year. Everything across the board, the acting, sound design, sound editing, special effects, the monsters look creepy as shit. They remind me a lot of the Demogorgon. I could not look at it without thinking, like, aren't those the guys from Stranger Things? The editing, everything across the board. So good. This is one of my favorite movies of the year so far. I was a bit let down, just a teeny bit, because of that first act that kind of dwindled a little bit and couldn't really get me on board right away. But this is one of the best sequels I've ever seen, and it's a excellent follow-up to A Quiet Place. I'm going to give A Quiet Place Part 2 an A-. I really enjoyed this movie, if you couldn't already tell. And I highly suggest seeing this on the big screen, like I said. If you do get the chance to see this and you do feel safe enough to see this on the big screen, go see it. Support your theaters. Guys, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, do give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Look forward to my review of Cruella coming tomorrow. Thank you guys again so much for watching. My name is Ben. People call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.